Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on Arrow Season 5. So hopefully everyone watching has seen Episode 9 or the mid-season finale of Arrow Season 5. If you haven't, well, that is a bit awkward considering the title of this video. Anyway, obviously what we saw take place at the end of Episode 9 was Ollie returning to the Arrow base after having a quote-unquote encounter with Susan Williams. Upon his return to the base, Ollie notices someone looking at the suit displays, specifically the Black Canary display. This someone turns around and we get the big reveal that it is Laurel Lance. She is back. But how the hell is this possible? Didn't we see Laurel get seriously injured by Damien Darhk last season, which led to her passing in hospital later on? Well, yeah, we did. In this video, we are going to go over a few possible reasons as to why Laurel is now alive and standing in front of Ollie rather than dead. One quick thing to bring up, which I know a lot of people are already probably typing in the comments, she's not a hallucination, she's not a ghost. And I say this because there's actually a sneak peek clip from episode 10, which I will leave linked in the description below if you do want to go watch it, if you are having trouble processing whether it's a hallucination or if it's a real thing. But to sum up what that clip says in regards to Laurel, Ollie says that we're easing her in. He doesn't say that he is easing her in, it's we're easing her in. So that could be Felicity and the rest of Team Arrow, maybe even Thea as well. So she's not a hallucination, she's a real physical thing that is now alive. Why? Well, let's go through it. Now, I will let everyone know which reason I think is the most logical one to happen after I go through them all. So the first option is Flashpoint. We recently dealt with Flashpoint's effect on Arrow in the crossover episodes, as well as following that up with some mentions of it in episode 9. But could Flashpoint have really had an effect on the life or death status of Laurel? Well, no. It wouldn't make sense. When we came back to Arrow this season, Arrow was in the timeline that all the shows are in at this present time. It's not like episode 1 was in the season 1 and 2 timeline of The Flash, and then in episode 2, the most recent episode after the end of Flashpoint when Barry returns, that they were in a completely new timeline. They were in the current one the whole time, where we see that Laurel gets a statue and there's always the constant mentions of Laurel's death and her legacy. This would only work if Barry was the only one who remembered that Laurel died, not everyone else on Arrow. The second option has to do with a new character who will be appearing early into the second half of this season, and that is Talia Al Ghul. Now, I'm not too sure if she is meant to appear in episode 10. I think her first appearance is actually in episode 11. I'm not 100% sure on that, so don't quote me on it. Now, Talia is most likely the woman that Ollie references in regards to that flip move that Prometheus did, having learnt it in Russia. He doesn't say Russian woman, by the way, he just says they learnt it from a woman in Russia. I did see a fair few people getting confused by that. If you remember back to the episode after Laurel dies in season 4, Quentin Lance actually goes to Nyssa and begs her to use the Lazarus Pit on Laurel. Unfortunately, Nyssa had destroyed the Lazarus Pit at Nanda Parbat earlier on in that season after it was used to revive Sarah. And Nyssa saw that as a reckless act, even though now Sarah's fine, so Nyssa sort of got showed up, didn't she? But due to this guilt that Nyssa may have felt, she could have gone to her older sister Talia for help. And yes, I know Nyssa is the older sister in the comics, but on the shows, they have established that Talia is the eldest. But essentially, Laurel back to life from another Lazarus Pit and properly treated to by Talia, so she isn't all bloodlusty, if you know what I mean. And the third and final option, and the one that I actually think is going to happen, has to do with Legends of Tomorrow. The whole season so far of Legends with Sarah has been a will she or won't she game in regards to preventing Laurel's death. Whether that be by killing Damien Darhk before he gets to 2016, or plucking Laurel out of the timeline before she eventually dies, and placing her where we are at the moment. Unfortunately, the killing Damien Darhk thing is similar to Flashpoint, in regards to everyone thinking she was dead the whole time and then she's randomly alive now. It just doesn't make sense, it doesn't. As we have seen, Gideon, the AI I guess you could say, of the Wave Rider, can basically do anything. So it would not surprise me at all if Laurel is taken from her deathbed and recovered by Gideon, and then placed where we see her in episode 9 of Arrow. Even in the most recent episode of Legends, that dude gets secured of brain damage, which is just insane. Gideon can really do anything. The only issue with this is the possible spoiler for Legends, because if this was to happen, you wouldn't think it would take place until towards the end of Season 2 of Legends. So the only way this would work is if Laurel doesn't know what happened to her at all, and then we see in Legends towards the end of the season, Laurel being plucked and placed at this certain point in time, but it's just never known to by Laurel, and she just thinks she appeared there or something. But thanks for watching, guys. Leave your opinions in the comment section below. Do you agree with what I've said? Do you think it's going to involve Legends of Tomorrow? Or do you think it's Flashpoint or a Lazarus Pit that has brought Laurel back to life on Arrow? If you did enjoy the video, it'd be very much appreciated if you could leave a like on it. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys, and goodbye.